the screen, right? Is my screen is visible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Rajesh,
Yes,
we
sir.
can.
Okay, thanks. So today will be an interesting topic. So let us discuss about it. Okay. So what we have done in previous classes. So in previous class, we have discussed about how these particular partial buffers will be worked, right? And we have seen the flavor of random regular expression also. Okay. So now in this class, let us try to understand what exactly the uses of the regular expression and how we will use the regular expression in Tosca in order to achieve the different, like for example, if you have a bigger value, okay, so instead of rather using the partial buffers, we can also use the respective regular expressions in order to control the values. Okay, for example, if you have any particular value and you want to uh, buffer those values, okay, so how you will buffer those values and how you will use the regular expression and what is the best way to use the regular expressions. Okay, so minute. Okay. Okay. Fine, guys. So, what is the task? Like, what is the major advantage of regular expressions that we will see today? Okay. So, it is bit confusing, guys. So, that's why put your full attention over here. It is easy, but you need to understand one name group. That's it. Okay. So, in order to handle the regular expressions, you need to understand the name group. That's it. Okay. For example, for these smaller values, for example, we have one scenario. Okay. So, the scenario is like we have one particular buffer. Okay. In this buffer, what we need to do, we need to split part one, part two, part three, and part four. Okay. So now, in order to divide this value into small chunks, first of all, we need to create this buffer, right? So where we will go? We will go to our respective workspace, which we have created. Yeah. So just log into your respective workspace, multi-user workspace. Yeah. Do update all. Okay. So once the update all is done, then we will go to our respective application and we will go here and I will do checkout. So what if I want modules, I will do modules. If I want test cases, I will do test cases. Okay. So what is the next topic we need to learn? We need to learn regular expression. So we have seen random regular expression in yesterday's class. Okay. Now we will see regular expressions. Okay. Just I'm writing this. That's it. Okay. So that you can see it. Regular expression. So in the regular expression, what we need to do, for example, let me create one test case over here. Okay. So just give the regular expression. Just I'm giving a name. So what I will do, I will create one buffer. So don't try to add like right clicking and searching. Just search from here so that you will understand where exactly you have those buffers. And if somebody asked you, then you can tell that this buffer will be present here. Okay. For example, see here, observe this one. Okay. So we have a buffer, call it as this value. Okay. So regular buffer value. Some buffer I am creating. That's it. I'm giving one name. Okay. So this is the buffer. What I will do, I will run this value. Okay. So once we have run it, so one buffer will be created. It is similar to the variables in programming language. Okay. So where is the buffer? Yes, this is the buffer. So in this buffer, we have this value. Okay. So this value has been stored here. Now, what I want to do, I want to split this buffer into small parts. Okay. So rather using the partial buffers, okay, we can write one big regular expression where you can easily identify or divide a big buffer into a small buffers. Okay. So how to write this one? First of all, what we need to do, we need to write the syntax. Okay. So what is the syntax which I told you yesterday? So the syntax for regular expression is regex, open bracket and close curly bracket, double quotes. In that you need to give regular expression. You need to give the regular expression. Okay. So after that, what do you need to do? For example, you need to understand one major concept in the regular expression is name group. Okay. So we have a concept called name group. So what is this name group and how this name group will be worked? Okay. So name group is nothing but, so you have one syntax, guys. Okay. Open bracket, question mark, buffer name. Okay. So buffer name. See guys, buffer name you need to give. After giving the buffer name, you need to give sub expression and close the bracket. You need to remember, guys, there is no other way of doing it. Rather, you are remembering these values. Okay. So what you need to do, you need to create a name group, guys. So what is this name group? Name group is nothing but if you want to split a buffer, a big buffer into small chunks, you will use a name group. Okay. So first you need to, this is the syntax, open bracket, question mark, and you need to use this buffer. Means I want to use part one here with the sub expression. What exactly you want it. Okay. So first two letters or second two letters or third two letters, how it is. Okay. So based on the respective value, you need to create. And so in yesterday's class, we have discussed about these things, right? So if you want to get the vehicle number, first two digits, then this is the expression. The same expression you will use it, but this is for random regular expression and this is for the regular expressions. Okay. So regular expressions are used to do the pattern matching. Okay. So now come here. So based on the above, let me write the syntax. Okay. So syntax to split the buffer, syntax to split big buffer value into small other buffers, something like that. Okay. So what is the syntax? Curly bracket, regex, close the bracket, close curly bracket. Okay. Here in between, we need to use regular expression. Okay. So see guys, let me write it. So what I want to do for first of all, I will copy my respective naming group and paste it over here. Here, what we need to give? We need to give the buffer name, guys. Okay. So what is the buffer name? I want to generate it. I want to generate part one or value one. Okay. Now, in the sub expression, what you need to do, instead of writing like this, you can follow this one. Okay. So capital A to Z and first two letters should be divided. Okay. See here, guys. Here, this first two letters should be done. Okay. Next one. So this one expression is done. Okay. So this is how you can do it. Else you can hard code the value also if you need. But hard code is not recommended. So this is for part one. Now we will do for the part two. Okay. So in part two, just we will change the name. And what is the part two we need to divide? We need to divide 4 A to Z. A to Z, just give it 4. Else, okay. Else also you can give star. Okay. So star also you can give it. What is that meaning? So first two letter, the part buffer has been captured. After that, where there is A to Z, where there is A to Z, till that, star means till that point. See here, after NITE, okay, we don't have alphabets, right? So either you can use star else you can give how many values you want. Okay. Next one, third buffer. Okay. So what is the third buffer? We have digits this time. So digits should be handled in a different way. So how to handle this one? So now you need to use this naming group followed by forward slash, means you are skipping it. That's it. So D curly bracket 5 close curly bracket. How many letters we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 only. Okay. So remaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remaining 5 we have, right? So now again copy this one. Now I need to paste it. See guys, what is my recommendation is try to divide and rule it. Okay. When you are trying to divide and rule, then you will understand the subject very clearly and the syntax will look easy for you. Okay. So you need to handle like this. Okay. 1 minute. Yeah. So you need to handle in this way. Okay. So you have 5. Okay. So now you can give star also here. Why? Why? Because there is after that there is no letters till ending. If you want to tell that till ending where it got ends, then use the star. Else properly use the respect to how many digits you have. I will use star for one case so that you will understand. Okay. Now see. Now build the regular expression. Just copy this one and paste it over here. Now in place of regular expression, you need to copy it and paste it. Copy and paste. Copy it and paste it. See, that's why I told you to not go in a flow. See here, we have these values. Okay. So if you are writing one by one, you will get confused. Okay. Now there is a note point, guys. Okay. So what is a note point is when you are using, so use the action mode verify. So that is how it get designed, guys. Okay, you need to remember it. Use action mode verify if you are using regular expression. So when you are using regular expression, please try to use the action mode verify. Okay, now come here. So what I will do, that same buffer, you just use it here. Okay, why? Because from that buffer only we need to take the value, right? So after that, you need to give this entire regular expression. Okay, so give the entire regular expression. So let us check whether we have any part buffers. There is no buffers. Okay, so now see what you are doing. So now instead of maintaining all the test cases or using the partial buffers, this is the best way to divide the things. Now use the action mode verify. See guys, what I have done from this buffer, if you want to do or divide a small parts, you need to build the regular expression. In the regular expression, naming groups are very important. Now, if I run this test case, the test case will pass and you can see 4 buffers will be created with part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4. See, in one sentence, you're writing, means in one syntax, using regular expression, you're writing the entire and dividing into small buffers. Okay. So only thing you need to remember is like a naming group, name group. Okay. So use open bracket, question mark, greater, less than symbol, less than, greater than symbol. In between, you need to use buffers and sub expression. What exactly you want it. Okay. So based on your, you can divide it. So this task is for you guys. Okay. So this task is for you. I have a bigger buffer. Now I want to split this into small things. Okay. So try to do it. See, rather using the partial buffers, you can use a regular expression in order to minimize your test steps and check your test case in a unique way. Okay. In this way, rather you can use, see, simple guys, simple funda. If you have a smaller values or if you have any in one buffer, we need to split into two. That's it. Then go for the partial buffers. If you have a bigger buffer and you want to do these things, then the best way would be using the regular expressions in Tosca. Okay. So do we need to remember everything? Yes, guys. We need to remember till respective uh, interview. Later, you can check it in the Google where you can get the naming group also. But for interview perspective, try to prepare and try to get the job done. Okay. Now you got this one. So this is how the regular expressions we will use it in the Tosca. Okay. So now the next concept, what we need to learn. Yeah. In regular expressions, can we write the syntax with number and alphabets? Yes, you can write it. You can split it and you can generate it. For that, you need to wait where it will be used generally. I told you, right? So for example, if you have one buffer and you want to divide that buffer into small parts, and now you have these buffers, right? So you have these buffers. Now I want to use it in the web application, on the front end application. You want to pass that one. Okay. For example, I want to pass here. In this message, I want to pass these three buffers. Then what you will do? You will come here and you will pass part one here. Curly bracket, capital B, open bracket, part one, close bracket and close curly bracket. Okay. Here, use action mode input. Okay. In this way, you can, for example, you have captured one dynamic value from the application. And now the client is asking you to send that value, okay? Send that particular value to the web application in a small parts. That is the scenario. That is the best scenario actually. Okay? So in this way, you can handle the scenarios. Okay? I will give one thing. Okay? I will give one more task, which is task 2. You just try this one. Who asked the first question, right? Yes, we can see regular expressions are used for the pattern matching, not for the creation. Okay. In order to create it, we need to handle it in a different way that I will teach you. Just wait for it. Okay. Next, what I want to generate. Okay. Generate a random number or phone number in below format. So what is the format, guys? +1. Okay, dash. Okay, in this format, you need to randomly generated the value. Okay, so try from your end, guys. In tomorrow's class, we will discuss. Okay, my hint is like try to create one buffer and call the buffer, use the regular expression where there is a special character hard coded as of now. Later, you will understand what to do. Okay, so that is the hint. These two tasks, try from the regular expressions. Okay, so try it from the regular expressions. Can you please explain how to add T-box modules to the test cases? Simple, guys. For example, I told you, right? So if you have any module, standard module, just for example, I want to take T-box set buffer. Okay, so now come here and go to see first do the checkout. Okay, next one, for example, I want to drag partial buffers. Don't drag it from here like this. Okay, just drag it and put it into your test cases. Okay, yeah. Okay, so now see what you have done here. You can drag from the logo, slowly drag it, and wherever you need it, just try to put it in the respective test case. Don't put it in the folder level. If you put it in the folder level, it will be created into another test case. See? No, don't do that mistakes. Okay? So just try to use wherever it is needed. What is the advantage of using regular expression than random? See, we have huge differences. In random numbers, you can generate a random value. Using regular expressions, you can match the pattern matching. You can see pattern matching. Instead of, see, I told you right in yesterday's class, see, The same task, if you want to do it using partial buffers, then how many? Two. Yeah, these many partial buffers you need to use it. What if I want to change it? If I want to change the thing, again you need to manually do one by one, one by one. But using regular expression in only one sentence, you will change everything. Okay, the test steps will be reduced. Okay, in this way you can use the advantages. So these are some advantages. We have many in the further sections. When there is a interlink of special characters, I will tell you. Okay, so in order to handle or in order to understand the special character, first of all you need to understand the string operators. Okay, string operators. Okay, what is the next concept? The next concept is string operators in those. Okay, so what is the next topic? Is very, very sensitive topic and easy topic, but you need to understand the string operator if you want to understand the special characters. Okay, so how do you need to handle the special characters? I will tell you this. Okay, so wait, I will tell you. Okay, next, see here, string operators in Tosca. Okay, what is a string? A string is a character. Just if you have any value, right? So we will call it as a string. For example, let me take. Okay, so let me take any person. Madhava. Madhava we have taken our part. Nilima. Okay, so let me take one name, Nilima. Okay. Okay, so there is a string called Nilima. Okay, now the first case is if you have any value, if you want to convert that into a lower case, upper case, you know, to trim it, everything you will use you in order to handle these kinds of strings, you will use the string operators. Okay, so in order to manipulate the string, we will use the string operator. String operators in Tosca. Okay, so in order to manipulate the string, we will use the string operators in Tosca. Okay, for example, we have name equal to Nilima or name normal Nilima. Okay, so I will use what I want to do. I want to convert a string to lower. Okay, so I want to convert a string to lower. What you want? What you want to do? I have a name called Nilima. Now I want to convert that name into lower characters. Okay, so what is the syntax? So what is the syntax to convert it? The syntax would be curly bracket. Guys, you need to understand the syntaxes, guys. From here, the syntaxes will be starts. Okay, so slowly when there is a usage, try to use that particular functionality. So curly bracket, string to lower, closer bracket, and close curly bracket. Here, you need to give the name. Just copy this one. Okay, so what is the next topic you have? String operator. Sorry, I created the folder. Okay, so now I will take random regular expression or the test case. I will take this module. Okay, concentrate here, guys. For example, I want to use this first name and again. So I will change the cardinal. Yeah. Okay. So now I will change the cardinality from 0 to 1 so that I can put everything in a single place. So what is the syntax? To convert any particular value into lower value, you need to use string to lower. So translate the value, you will get Nilima in small case. What if we have a buffer? Okay. What you will do? You just come here. in the buffer operators, take one set buffer, drag the buffer and put it over here, put it at the top. Okay. After that, you will have one buffer value here. Okay. So I will take name, some buffer equal to Nilima. Okay. So I will take Nilima here. Just run the buffer so that it will be stored in the buffer viewer. Okay. Now you can use like this. Just copy this one and paste it over here. See guys, when you are writing it, try to divide and rule. Again, I'm telling you. What you want, say curly bracket, capital B, close the bracket and close curly bracket. And this is the buffer name. Okay. So some buffer name, just cut it. Now, just copy this one. Instead of name, you can also use the buffer name inside. See, writing this much big syntax is a bit complicated at the initial stage. So you will divide and you will write the syntaxes. Okay. So instead of using names, you can also use the buffer values. For example, you have captured one value from the application. Okay. So if you want to convert that into lower, then you will use string to lower. Okay. Next, convert a string into upper, guys. Okay. So what you need to do, you want to do it for upper. Okay. So what is the syntax? Curly bracket, string to upper, close bracket and close curly bracket. For example, you have Nilima with the smaller letters. Okay. So now if you want to convert that value to upper letter, you can convert that into upper letter. See, string to upper. Here you have used the string to upper, guys. Okay. Now, after that, what is the next thing? See, guys. So generally, if you want to manipulate any particular string, right? So you will use the string operators in Tosca. For example, if in your application or from the web application, you are taking the value, okay, and now you want to convert that value, okay, or you want to use that value in the upcoming test cases, then you will use the string operators. Means in the application, you have used dynamic buffers. Okay. So in the dynamic buffers, if you are want to convert the value or if you want to gather the value and you want to manipulate. Okay. So if you want to manipulate it, then you will go for the string operators in Tosca. Okay. Guys, 1 minute. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm back. Okay. So now what we are discussing? Yes, we are discussing about the converting to the upper. Instead of name, you can also use the buffer values. Okay. Next one, very important one is trim. Okay. So the next string operator is trim, guys. Okay. For example, what is syntax generally? First, the syntax. Syntax, you need to remember there is no other choice. String operator will contain two arguments. In the first argument, you will have input text. And in the second one, optional parameter you will have it. Okay. So optional parameter you will have. So in one trim, you need to provide the input value and optional parameter. What are the optional parameter you have? We will see. For example, okay. For example, I have what we call Nilima on. Okay, let's take the same example. Nilima. And this time I have spaces at before. Now I have Nilima. Okay. So this time I have spaces at after. After that, I have spaces before and after like this. See guys, before you have spaces, after you have spaces, before and after also you have some spaces. At that time, how to remove those things? You can use the trim function in order to remove it. Okay. So come here. Okay. So you need to use curly bracket. Okay. So trim. What is the syntax? Curly bracket, trim, close the bracket and close curly bracket. Let me write it over here so that you'll understand. Okay. So curly bracket, we need to use trim. So now copy this entire thing, including the spaces, guys. Okay. So if you have any spaces, this is an optional parameter, right, guys. Either you can use it, else you can put it as a blank. Either you're not using it, just remove it based on your situation. Just copy this one and paste it over here. Okay. See, curly bracket, trim, close the bracket and close curly bracket. Okay. So, yeah, anyway, see, if you are not using it, just remove it. So copy it and paste it like this. Okay. So if you have any front values or front spaces, see, there is no spaces. In order to remove the spaces, you will use the trim option. Next one. What if I have at not at starting, but we have curly bracket, trim, close the bracket and close curly bracket. You didn't have spaces at starting, but you have spaces at ending like this. Okay. So that will also remove these values. Okay. So if you have the starting and ending also like this, so the trim will remove the both the values. Okay. So in this way, you can do it. Else you can use the optional parameter also. Okay. So either it can be starting or either it can be ending, right? So just what you will do, you will use the second parameter and you will use start. What is start? Means at the starting, you have the spaces. You are using, that's an optional parameter, right? You can use it, else you don't use it. Okay. So if we have the trim value at the end, okay, right click and translate the value. You will have the values at end. Okay. So in this way, you can handle any trim by using this syntax. You need to remember the syntax, guys. Very easy. Okay. So how you are remembering, that is important. Okay. The next one is number of occurrences. OCCURRENCES, occurrences. Okay. Spelling should be correct, guys. Okay. So what is the syntax? Syntax curly bracket, number of, no spaces, guys. Okay. Close the bracket. Two parameters you will use it. One is input parameter. And next one is pattern. Okay. For example, if you have a word called occurrence, see, in the word occurrences only, you need to see number of occurrences. For example, if you want to check how many times this word has been occurred in the buffer or in the normal value. Okay. See, for example, you'll use curly bracket, the same syntax. Okay. So what is the example? The example would be like this. Okay. So in the input parameter, you will give this value like this, number of occurrences. In the pattern, what you will do, in the pattern, you will use the respective pattern over there. Okay. So what pattern? For example, you want to see how many times this C has been occurred or R has been occurred. Okay. Case sensitive, guys. So give the correct value. Okay. See it like this. Right click and translate the value. Then you can see a 3 means the C is occurred 1, 2, 3 times. If you want to change it to R, you can change it to R also. So I know how many times the R got occurred. Okay. So right click and translate the value. Then you will have it. So instead of using word, you can also use buffer. Okay. Any buffer you have. Okay. Nilima only. Okay. In this buffer, how many times E has occurred? Okay. So what you will do? You will remove this value. So that's why be careful, guys. Okay. So try to remove correctly. So this is the, see, I don't know what it is doing. Okay. See here, come here. So I will use curly bracket, capital B, open bracket and close curly bracket. And I will take this buffer and I will paste it over here. Okay. Now what is the syntax? Copy the syntax. See, I'm just telling you, in place of occurrences, place the buffers. Okay. So use how many times the E has occurred. So here it is in capital letter only. So give the capital letter. If you give small letter, it is a case sensitive. It won't get any values. Just copy the value and paste it over here. Answer should be 2 times. Okay. Yes, the answer is 2, guys. In this way, if you have, see guys, if you have captured any value from the application, web application, and you want to manipulate that strings, then you will go for the string operations. And we have different things also. Stay tuned. Stay tuned till string replace. Okay. So why? Because using string replace only, you will use the special characters. Okay. So that I will discuss tomorrow. But just to have a glance look, you need to understand these concepts. Okay. Next, string length. What is the next thing, guys? String length. How to find the string length? For example, we have same buffer, right? So we have this buffer name equal to Nilima, right? So we have Nilima here. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So how many? What is the string length of Nilima? It is a 7, right? So what is the syntax? So syntax is curly bracket string length close the bracket. Okay. So how many arguments you need to use? You need to use only one argument, guys. For this one, input text or buffer or CP, configuration parameter. Anything you can use it. Okay. So now use curly bracket, string to string length, curly bracket, string length, close the bracket and close curly bracket, capital B, close the bracket and close curly bracket. And this is the buffer name. Just cut it and paste it inside. Now see, I'm dividing and I'm ruling it. That's it. So that's where the concept is. Right click and translate the value. Okay. The string length is 7. Okay. See guys, you can validate this also. I will tell you how to validate this. That I will tell you in the upcoming classes. Okay. For example, whether we have 7 is correct or not, that you can evaluate. Okay. I will tell you in the next classes. Then you will slowly understand. Okay. Now, very, very important. Concentrate over here. Why? Because let me discuss about the string replace. Okay. Very, very important, guys. String replace. You need to understand the concepts. Simple only, but a small change. Okay. So what is the next thing? String replace. If you want to replace one value with another value, you will use a string replace. So what is the syntax? The syntax to replace the string is curly bracket, string replace. String to replace, generally you will use no guess. Okay. So we will use 4 arguments. Observe this one, guys. You can do magics using this one. Okay. So you can take the help of regular string replace and regular expressions, and you can handle the special characters. Okay. That is the only way to do it in Toast. Okay. See, guys. You have 4 arguments. In the first argument, you need to put input text. In the first one, what you need to do, guys? You need to put the input text. Next, pattern. You need to give a pattern. After that, you need to give new value. And finally, you need to give optional parameter 1, comma, optional parameter 2. Okay. So you can give input text, pattern, new value, optional parameter 1, 2. How many things you have? Those many things you can give it. Example would be simple rather than the syntax, guys. See, let me tell you. Okay. So what is the example? What I need to do? I have a word called weekend. Okay. Yeah. Week. Let me take it like this. Both in single words. Okay. So I have a word called weekend. Okay. Now I want to, what I want to do, guys? I want to replace with X. Okay. I have a word called weekend. Now I want to replace with X, a small x. Means what is my output should be? The output should be like this. So where there is E, okay, I want to replace E with X, means small e, like this. For example, I'm telling, okay, you can use the value, you can build the syntax. So how to build the syntax? Curly bracket, string replace. So generally you'd use string to replace 2, 4, close the bracket and close curly bracket. Here you will give input text. I have this text. Okay. So what is the pattern? What is next? Pattern and new value. Pattern is small e and new value is X. That's it. Optional, we will see it later. Okay. Just copy this one and paste it over here. See, right click and translate the value. See, here where there is small e, then we have X. But if you clearly observe, this capital is not converted. Why? Why? Because it is case sensitive. That you can handle by a optional parameter. Okay. So what you need to do? See, instead of using this value, use the buffer, use the CP, use any other values. Okay. So now copy this one and paste it over here. In the third argument, in the fourth argument, what you will do? For example, if you want to replace something, you can replace the value. Else, you can use the ignore also. Okay. Ignore case. Ignore case. So what is this ignore case? If there is a case sensitive, means even though it is a small e or capital E, we doesn't bother about it, and the ignore case will remove. And see, where there is E, either it is a capital or small, you can handle like this. Okay. Now you have one more parameter called it as replace first. Okay. Here you can use replace. Okay. So replace first. Just copy this one and paste it over here. Right click and translate the value. See, only first one will be replaced. Okay. In this way, you can use the string replace. Okay. Now, after the string replace, the major thing, the next thing you need to learn how to handle the special characters. Okay. So what is the next thing you need to learn? The next topic would be handling the special characters. Okay. So that we will see it in the next class. Okay. So what is time? Okay. Yeah. Now you can ask the questions, guys. Go ahead with your questions.
Yeah, Rajesh. Rajesh, slightly out of topic.
Hmm.
In Tosca, can we automate filling in an application form wherein we capture the details, for example, from the Salesforce API using get method, and probably do a post as well in Tosca? We can do it, right, Rajesh?
Yes, we can do. So say
Mm-hmm.
what we can do. We have one API testing. We need to scan this API. Anyway, I will cover in the last before classes. Okay, last week I will cover this one. But answer for your question is yes. We can validate the request and response, and we can send the data, and we can capture the data using get method also, and we can update the data. Yes, if you have any backend data, okay, you want to take the data to the front end application. There is a, you said, right? So there is a Google form. In the Google form, you need to put the data or paste the data from the backend application. Simple way. Do the API scans and add all the values. I will tell you one process, follow that. And now you can convert one value from the backend application into buffer and pass the buffer into the front end application. That is the concept. 3 steps.
So you are telling from the getting the data via API using get method and use that data to fill in a front end application GUI, right?
In between, buffer the value from the backend.
Okay.
You got the point? Means you will use somehow you will buffer the value. So you will scan the APIs and you will buffer the values. And once you have buffered the value, it will be stored in the system like here. And you can pass this buffer into the application like this. How we have passed the value here in SAP or any other thing. Scan the module and pass the buffers here. Either it is same for database, it is same for API. Everywhere it is same. Okay.
We can do post methods as well, right, Rajesh?
Yes.
I mean, get
Post,
the data,
put, get everything.
Everything. And also, can we, using the get method, can we create, like, if there are, can we create a loop wherein we, constantly do many records?
Yes.
We get many records and then buffer all that, or use a file and then use that as an input for the post method or for passing application.
Yes, we can do. See here, there is a while loop, there is do loop, there is a condition, and files, right? You asked me about files. We will cover it everything. But scenarios we may or may not. But the topics you told me, right? You told us, right? So if there is a file, so file operation, folder you can create it, file you can create it. If it is an Excel sheet, also you can open the Excel sheet also. Okay, so we will cover everything. Okay, see here. So since you have asked this question, so this one is not completed. This is a completed batch. Okay, so we will tell you the API calls, SAP, everything, and you told us, right? So what is Excel sheet? We will tell you how to handle the Excel sheet, how to write the data, how to verify the buffer, how to create a data, everything we will tell it. And coming to the files, how to write the data, how to import the data, everything I will explain. Okay. Once you have done all these things, then you will understand the topic. See guys, good one. Like, see, what you need to do, you need to learn the subject one by one, later combine everything. That's it. And in the interview, they will ask you the exact approach. They won't ask what you need to do. For example, the same thing they have asked this question. So there is a scenario that in API from the backend, not API from the backend, we have one data. We need to capture the data, or we need to use the get method and get the data, and you need to send it to the Google form. Okay. So you need to tell your approach. So we will use the API scan. These are the steps: step 1, step 2, step 3. We will buffer the value and we will send it. And the next one is like, for example, if you want to store it in the file, we will use file operation. If it is an Excel, we will use Excel operation. We will open the Excel. We will create the range slowly. I will tell you. Okay.
Rajesh, what is the approximate estimate to give for this, wherein we scan we scan the API, buffer the value, and pass, and using post, we pass it on to the application. So,
See, ETA, you can see generally it completely depends. Have you done it in the Postman manually?
yes, get and
Yes.
post, yes.
Okay. So what you can do, you can ask, including the execution, you ask for two days. Okay. So that what you can do in the day one, you can scan the API, but you need to know the API scans. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah, if I am the person, then I will give 2 days and I will try to complete it in 2 days. But yeah, depends on the application. You can ask 3 days also if needed.
Okay. Okay. And Rajesh, one more question. So, for the SAP application, to automate SAP application, can we automate SAP GUI and using SAP Fiori as well, right? Both.
Anything, if it is a web, you can do it. If it is a standalone application like this, also you can
Mm.
automate.
Okay.
Yeah, Rajesh, Sivaramakrishna here.
Yeah.
I'm working in a HCL, okay?
Hmm.
So I am working in, I have to start the project from the scratch on SAP Fiori, like SAP S/4HANA, my project will be.
Hmm.
And could you please let me know how long does it take to come back to the SAP
It is the
S4?
last topic actually. See here. In the
Yeah.
previous batches, first of all, you need to learn all these things in order to handle the SAP.
At least could you please give me some of the records for that? Actually, I have to start from the scratch. And what are the considerations I have to keep in mind, and what are the requirements for that? What is the POC already have created for that?
See, generally we
Oh,
can't tell the SAP first. Why? Because in SAP you need to know how to handle a drop down, how to handle a value, how
no,
to
no,
handle a
I did
table.
work on. I did work on
Uh,
before in another project. Actually, that is also SAP S/4HANA, the project name called Eaton.
mm.
But I don't have much experience in that for SAP. Okay, so but I did work on around the 4 to 5 months. I did work on, but this is from scratch, right? So I know the how to handle the web tables and everything because
Mm.
in SAP S/4HANA we have most of the columns like
It is a web or desktop?
tables only, right?
It is a web or desktop. See, we
No, no,
won't teach you the
yeah.
functionality, how the SAP FICO or SAP HANA or any other thing. We will tell you how to automate the things using Tosca. It can be
Okay,
any SAP.
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
So I think it will be covered at the last only.
Could
Why?
you please give
Because
me that? Maybe if it is possible for you, then could you please give me that?
yeah, I will try. Okay.
And one
I
more
will try.
thing, the manual dry run has been completed. I have
Hmm.
to go for estimations like for what are the feasibility for what are the test case for a feasibility for automation testing in Tosca.
So
And
that depends on how many test cases you have, how many resources we have, and how soon we need to complete it. That details we need. So based on that, you can give the instructions.
okay,
Means here how we can give it. Means I don't know the application, right? So and I don't know how many test cases you have. So what is the complexity of the application? Is there is any interlink functionality where you need to handle the situation? See, if it is small, if you tell one test case, then we can tell it. If it is more test cases, right? So based on the test cases, we need to check it.
okay. Actually, they haven't given us a exact blueprint on that.
Hmm.
I
So
have gone
get
for
that
the
one.
manual testing and I have verified like a one manual testing. It is having around some steps and it is I thought like it will be become a more test cases for that. Like,
Yeah, we'll do one thing. We will restrict this to the class doubts, and if you have anything, let's do it in offline.
could you please
It
let me
will
know your
be
possible time to get back to you?
after 11.
Yeah, that would be fine for me. Actually, I
Right.
have at 11:30 I have a client call for a status
Hmm.
call only.
Hmm.
Then I'll make a call to you at around 11:30 or 12 o'clock.
So I can't give more time, guys. Why? Because I need to go to office. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So We will
Rajesh,
quickly
how to contact you using this? I mean,
see. Every time it is not possible. Only message is
correct.
possible for me. But yeah, once or twice you can contact me. You can see in the group there is a number, my name. You can contact from there.
Sure.
Hmm.
No, I need just at least minimum maximum 5 minutes enough for me.
No. What I'm telling is like, see, I will be busy in another works also. Okay, I have a class at 8 o'clock, 8:30. Okay,
Yeah,
so after that I need to. I have some works also, right? So
definitely.
that's where I'm telling. So I can't give daily, but sometimes yes. If you have any doubts, I can clarify.
So one day enough for me. Today enough for me.
Just I'm letting others know. Okay, it's
Yes,
not.
sir,
It's a
definitely.
generic statement. Okay.
Got you.
Yeah, we will discuss. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, team.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
team.
you.
Rajesh, yeah, I have one more doubt, Rajesh.
Yeah, please.
Like in order to fetch the value, runtime value from the web application, we have two methods like dynamic buffers, and you today you
Right.
teach the regular expression. What is the best way to use it?
See, the best way to see that is different and this is different. That is to get the data. This is to manipulate the data.
Yeah, but here you are using the user like part one, part two, you're fetching the values and setting into the buffer, right?
Okay,
That buffer
partial
we can.
buffer or regular expression. Yes, the best way would be regular expression only for larger values. I told you, right? If you want to split more than 5 buffers, then go for regular expression. Else use 5 partial buffers. That's it.
And one more thing, did you remember you used a dynamic buffer like XB? And there was a text message like welcome Rajesh 12345.
Yes.
You verified like you have given the text welcome and you given a XB
Yes.
as a Rajesh, that one. You fetch that value into the XB dynamic buffer, right?
Correct.
That also at that time also we can fetch the value at runtime, right?
Yes, we can fetch the value. That is capturing the value. Partial buffer is splitting the value.
And in regular expression also we can fetch the value, right?
Yes.
From expression.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
I will teach you. Okay. See, these are the combination concepts. Okay. So I will teach you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, team. Yeah, we will take the doubts in the doubt session. So tomorrow we have doubt session at 11 a.m. Okay. I will send you the link in the group. Please do join tomorrow doubt session at 11 a.m. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, team. See you all on tomorrow's class. Tomorrow doubt session. Okay, team. Bye.
Okay. Bye, Rajesh.